So it's Wednesday, right? Hello. You guys having fun so far? Are you guys as tired as I am? Good, as long as it's not just me. So today there's no keynote because we did the professional breakfast this morning. We did that so we could free up an evening for laughs, but we'll talk more about that later. But we've got some housekeeping stuff we need to do before we can start the day. So welcome to Wednesday. Today is the first day of the main conference, so now we fall into the standard, there'll be 6 simultaneous talks, you'll have to pick between them, you might need a time machine, good luck with that. And it must be time for a giveaway. Now today's giveaway is a lie, in that it's one of the it's one of the tablets we're using for registration. So what you... That's right, you win a slightly used tablet. We're very sure it works now. So what you win is the promise of a future tablet. And I have some names here. Is Russell Jorgensen in the room? Yeah. Wow, that's like 3 for free now. Could you go and talk to Rego later in the day and convince them that you want a tablet and try and trick them into getting it? I think this might be the first LCA I've ever been to where every winner is going to be ready. And we should keep up the good work.
We are all winners,
Yes, we're all winners apparently. So I think you've all figured out networking now. I don't think we had any network problems yesterday. I'm told that during yesterday's keynote, even though you were paying attention, right, we did 400 megabit out of this hall. So you need to pay attention a bit more to the keynotes for the next 2 days, and we'll see that on the network graphs, right? We have our charity raffle. Again, it's the Cystic Fibrosis Association and the Leukemia Foundation. We are now selling raffle tickets. We made nearly $1,000 for these charities yesterday. And once again, the prize is a $700 desktop CNC milling routing machine thing, to use the technical term. So I'd like us to get to 10K if we could, because that's the maximum. And I want to hear them squeal when they hand over the check. So keep up the good work. I need you to be nice to each other. Now, there's kind of no nice way to say this, and I didn't really want to have to be here, but I paid the big money to do the unpleasant things. Yesterday we sent a delegate home, specifically for breaching our code of conduct, but the interesting thing is they were harassing one of the accommodation vendor's staff, to the point where the staff at the accommodation venue no longer felt safe providing him with service. It's our job to look after both our volunteers and our vendors, right? I don't have a choice when this sort of thing happens, so we sent him home. And we're sad it happened, we've dealt with it in private, we don't want to make a big deal about who it was or anything like that, hopefully it's a learning opportunity. But the code of conduct isn't there to make you guys not have fun or anything, it's for really serious stuff. Employees should always be allowed to focus on their job. So that's all I'm really going to say about it, and I'm sad we had to do it. But I'd kind of like us to move on and not have to do it again if we possibly can. So after this we go to morning tea again, just like the other days. You should be falling into a routine now. It's at the Manning Clark Centre. And like I said, we go into talks. All the talks are in the Manning Clark Centre in those 6 rooms you should have seen by now, if you've actually been coming to the conference. So we're running 6 simultaneous. At this point I don't think we have any gaps in the program, which is cool. So there should be heaps for you to choose from. And the other thing we want to get done this morning is we want to hand out the Rusty Wrench Award. But this is above my pay grade. So if I could ask Rusty and Mary to come up.
The Rusty Wrench Award is an award for community contributions and community service in the free software community in Australia and New Zealand. It was established because a lot of that work tends to be under-recognised in our community despite Michael's own emphasis on how much work he's doing. probably he's not giving sufficient emphasis. So it's been awarded 4 times now. The first time it was awarded to its namesake, Mr. Rusty. It dismantles, so for easy transport, and we have it is indeed a rusty wrench. It was also awarded to Kimberly Weatherall, who has contributed greatly to the community's position on intellectual property, especially as it relates to Australian laws and international treaties. It was awarded to Peter Moore, who has done all the things all the time, everywhere. And last year, I was proud to be the recipient of the 2012 Rusty Wrench Award. I'm very pleased to be here passing it on to the next great contributor to our community, and I'm pleased that in this community we have an acknowledgement of community contributions, because it's really, really hard work, and a lot of people from outside Australia have complimented Australia on the way that our community actually recognises the core contributions by community organisers in a way that's not typical for the free software community. So I'm proud to be kicking off the awarding of the 2013 Rusty Wrench.
Okay, so we actually take nominations, and then the previous winners all conspire together to ignore them. Decide who's going to get the award. We are lucky that when you scratch the surface, we find a lot of people doing a lot of great, often unrewarding grunt work that builds our community and holds things together. And when we look at the Rusty Wrench, we look at somebody who just dives in and does stuff, and has done, when you think, okay, you recognise their name for one particular thing, you dig down, you discover there are about 5 other things they've done before that you might not have known about. In this case, the list includes Open Source Victoria, Linux Users Victoria, the Melbourne Linux.conf.au. Now, at this point, you might be getting this hint, a geographic hint about where we're headed. But it also includes an awful lot of advocacy and enthusiasm and passion and a love of open source and culminating with things like Drupal and the dilemma that we were presented with when the person was actually busy organising DrupalCon. Was DrupalCon? Yeah. Which happens to be coming up very soon, and therefore wasn't actually here to exist. But we managed to drag her out anyway. So, Donna, if you would come up on stage, please. Traditional recipient prize destruction, which it has. Just in case you didn't have enough stuff that you needed to fix, now you've got one more. Did you want to say a few words? Let me put that another way. Please say a few words.
Thank you. It's extraordinary company, really, when you think about Rusty, Pia, Kim, and Mary. I think I wasn't meant to know about this, but because I wasn't here, Rusty had to find a way to let me know that I should be here. And when he told me that there was a problem at Linux.conf.au, I said, what is it? What can I do? How can I help? On what he was actually trying to tell me.
By the way, there was no fire.
Fortunate. And so that left me some time to think about the legacy, and I think that Mary actually touched touched on some of the things that I think are really important. Rusty created this event, and I think we can all agree that he has created something incredibly special for the Australian open source, free and open source software community. Please give him a massive round. Like now starting to support Lux. Linux Australia has become an extraordinarily powerful and useful organisation. And Pia really shifted what it was to what it has become. She laid a foundation, so that's an extraordinary legacy too. So let's have a perhaps less long round of applause. Known to as many of you as say Pia and Rusty, but Kim was instrumental in making the arcane legalese of copyright and intellectual property understandable for geeks and made us realise how important it was that we join the fight against the free trade agreement and other kinds of things. I have a huge amount of respect for Kim, and I assume she's not here either, but she has really helped us get engaged with that and given us tools to fight those fights. So, Kim Weatherall. And Mary, I have so much, it's kind of hard to say this because she's standing right there. I can embarrass Rusty, but I don't want to embarrass Mary. Rusty's given me full permission. I am enabled to now embarrass Mary. Mary is extraordinary, and the work that she has done is phenomenal. She was the one who had the vision, who said, all these tiny, disparate Linux chicks chapters in the country. There's a few of you in Melbourne, there's a few of us in Sydney, there might be one poor lonely person in Adelaide. You know, she got us together and created Aussie Chicks, and that was one of the first Drupal sites I worked on, helping Mary create the Aussie Chicks website along with another Mary, who's probably also not here. But Terry, please pass on if you're here. Thanks to the other Mary. But she then went on continuing that work, working with Linux Chicks globally, and then with Valerie Aurora, the AIDA initiative, which has gone on to extraordinary things and is really making a difference for women in our community. In ways that...
For our logo, by the way.
We share love, So, you know, so then I was kind of thinking, these four people have contributed in ways that are so fundamental to our community. And then I went, oh, shit. And it's a shame I didn't go to the imposter syndrome session yesterday, because now I'm still sitting here feeling so, yeah, I don't know. So really all I can say now is incredibly proud and going to cry now, so I'm going to stop talking. Thank you.
we have some sticky tape here if you need it. So I think the other thing I should say in the context of all of that is... Ooh, big blue screen. Pia isn't here because she's personally responsible for TBL coming to the conference, and part of that is TBL is going around Australia and New Zealand talking, and she has to handhold that whole process, which is this hilariously complicated giant thing she did just to get us a keynote. So that's an amazing contribution to LCA 2030 by itself. Although it's also a good chance to say, if you do want to come to the keynote on Friday, perhaps you should be a little bit early. I know the theatre feels a bit empty now, but there'll be about 1,200 people here on Friday. So perhaps being 10 minutes early might be a good idea. Now I'm pretty sure, my laptop having gone to sleep, so that's all we've got for you. Oh, no, you're right, I have box, I've got to wait for it. Aha! So, the reason we moved the professional delegate session is because we wanted to provide more time for MOFs. We'll have the whole of the Manning Clark Centre open until 9:30 tonight. I know that all of the slots in theatres are taken, but you know what, MOFs can be whatever you want. If you want to meet in a corner of the lobby or a nearby coffee shop or bar or whatever, that's cool too. So, don't feel constrained by all of the rooms having been taken. If you want to get together and chat about whatever you guys work on, then that's completely cool with us. You can see a list of the BOFs on the wiki, and one day when I get more than 5 minutes to sit down at my computer, I'll get it onto the Zookeeper schedule as well. Now, that's the end of what we've got organised for this morning. I think we're running a little bit early here. Any checks? No. Well, we're running about 15 minutes early. Shall I just, I don't know, waste 15 minutes, or do you want to go to morning tea early? No, you don't want me to see, you've already said that.
AGM tonight.
Oh, no, good point. So, Linux Australia voting closed at midnight last night, this morning, depending on how you think about it, I suppose. The AGM is tonight, it's on the schedule. It doesn't conflict with anything else on the schedule, so that you have no excuse to not come along. I think we're going to see a bit of a change in the board because there's a few people who are going to take a break. So if you had AGM to go to, then ours would be a good one. So yeah, don't forget the AGM as well. Shout out people at the front, is there anything else I've forgotten?
Where?
Where's the AGM? It's in the Manning Clark Centre in a room. I don't remember which one. Two, apparently. Manning Clark 2. But if that's not big enough, we'll spill over. See if I'm like. Anything else? People who tell me what to do? Cool. Alright, well why don't you head off and have an early morning tea?